11 News starts with breaking news.
And we start with major breaking news on the fallout from an exclusive Target 11 investigation. A federal lawsuit has just been filed against the contact tracing company that exposed the personal data of tens of thousands of Pennsylvanians. Good afternoon, I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Catherine Amenta. Target 11 investigator Rick Earl has broken every detail of this story. He joins us live on the breaking news desk. And Rick, the state is also named in this lawsuit.
Yeah, Catherine and Gordon, the lawsuit right here was just filed in federal court in Harrisburg, and it names both the Pennsylvania Health Department and the contractor Insight Global as defendants. Now, this class action complaint comes exactly a week after Target 11 broke the story about that massive data breach involving the personal and health information of 72,000 people across the state who were contacted by contact tracers. Now, the information was easily accessible to Target 11 by clicking a link, no login or password needed. Now, the state health department acknowledged the compromised data and immediately shut down those links after we showed them what we had discovered. Now, the lawsuit filed today alleges that, quote, Insight Global maintained unsecure spreadsheets, databases, and/or documents containing the private health information of tens of thousands. It continues, these documents were widely available to the public through a Google search and did not require a password, login, or any kind of authentication in order to be viewed. Now, one of the plaintiffs named in that suit is a woman we tracked down whose personal information was exposed.
I'm shocked. That's private information that nobody should have access to but the doctor.
Now, the state has said they plan to terminate the contract with Insight Global when it ends in July. Insight Global, meanwhile, has set up a toll-free hotline and is offering free credit and identity protection monitoring. Of course, we have reached out to both for a comment this morning and have yet to hear back from them. Live at the breaking news desk, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
Rick, thank you. Also breaking at noon, U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is set to arrive in Pittsburgh in the next 30 minutes. He will meet with state and local leaders to promote the infrastructure plan President Joe Biden unveiled in our city a few weeks ago. The American Jobs Plan would cost around $2 trillion and calls for investments in roads, bridges, airports, and railroads, among other initiatives. The White House says it would create millions of jobs. Republicans have blasted the proposal because it would raise taxes on corporations and the wealthiest Americans, and says that it makes investments in areas that they don't consider infrastructure. More breaking news. McKeesport police need your help finding a man with dementia. Please, if you have a moment, just come over and take a look at your screen. This is Cecil Tinsley. Police say he disappeared sometime after 6 o'clock last night. They also say he is partially blind. If you see him or you know where he is, please call police right away. Now to severe weather Team 11 coverage. Meteorologist Jessica Faith live with us this afternoon.
And Jessica, welcome break from all that rain today, but it's not going to last long.
No, today is the one dry day that you have before we go into Mother's Day. So we're looking dry, but we're also looking a little bit more cloudy. More cloud cover will continue to grow in as we go throughout the day. So just looking at the radar right now, so far so good. Here's how it looks outside right now this midday. Earlier this morning, we saw a good bit of sunshine, and again, that's starting to fill up with more clouds as we look outside. We'll maintain those dry conditions today, also cool as well. So we're going to be below average today. Highs right now this midday in the lower 50s, so feeling cool than where we should be for this time of year. 51 in Pittsburgh, 52 in Greensburg. I'm going to talk more about the rain chances though and let you know in the upcoming days how much rain we're going to see and how Mother's Day is looking.
All right, thanks, Jessica. A barge broke free from a tugboat along the Mon River this morning and crashed into the Duquesne-McKeesport Bridge. PennDOT closed the bridge for inspection, and Tricia followed the traffic impact on Channel 11 Morning News. Officials say one of the bridge piers suffered some minor damage, but the bridge did reopen at around 6 o'clock. New at noon, Moderna says that early data shows its COVID-19 vaccine is highly effective in teenagers. The drug maker looked at more than 3,200 children aged 12 to 17 who got the shot, and it found the vaccine to be 96% effective. Maternal says the vaccine was generally well tolerated and no serious safety concerns were identified. The vaccine is currently authorized for emergency use in adults 18 and older. But as more vaccine doses are becoming available, fewer people in the United States are lining up for the shots. The Biden administration is pushing for more vaccine access around the country, and they're helping countries overseas deal with increasing infections and death rates. Here's NBC's Miguel Almaguer.
Today, nearly 150 million Americans have received at least one dose of a vaccine. By the 4th of July, the president says he wants 70% of all Americans to receive one dose. And with that blitz to get more Americans vaccinated, now comes the effort of more vaccine ambassadors going door to door. They're even going inside local grocery stores into laundromats to encourage people who may be hesitant, trying to tell them that the vaccine is easy and effective.
We are not out of the woods yet, but we could be very close. All of us are getting fully vaccinated, and continuing our prevention efforts can help us turn the corner on the pandemic as early as July.
Meantime, across the country, there's been more reopenings. Businesses are moving at fuller capacity, and soon we expect many businesses to open with no restrictions at all. But again, this morning and today, the push remains vaccinating more Americans. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
And as you just heard, the CDC is predicting a sharp drop in COVID cases in the U.S. by July. And in their best case scenario, weekly cases could fall below 50,000, with deaths between 200 and 300 by the middle of the summer. But the prediction comes with a warning from the head of the CDC. She says if unvaccinated people don't wear masks and socially distance, we could go back in the other direction. Local officials are optimistic that the end of the pandemic could be near. We told you that 70% of Pennsylvanians have to be fully vaccinated before the state will lift the mask mandate. Allegheny County Executive Rich Fitzgerald says he expects we'll reach that goal in the next few weeks.
As everybody gets vaccinated, we can get back to normal. And I think businesses, offices, and all the things I talked about, and family gatherings can get back to normal. This May 31st will look a lot different than last May 31st.
And Fitzgerald says if you are at a gathering and some people are not vaccinated, he says you should be wearing a mask. New at noon, the CDC is letting cruise lines do practice runs with volunteer passengers. It's a step towards allowing them to resume normal operations in U.S. waters. Participants have to be vaccinated or have a doctor's note saying they are not in a high-risk category for COVID. Now to a live look at the city of Pittsburgh, where a busy road is going to close for the next 5 months. And Channel 11 traffic expert Tricia Pittman explains the city hopes it will drum up business downtown.
Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership has announced that they are going to be blocking off a portion of Fort Duquesne Boulevard for the next 5 months. That closure is going to begin on Monday, and it's going to last until October 7th. It's going to be the westbound lanes of Fort Duquesne Boulevard, so coming from 7th Street down towards Stanwix. They are hoping to have some events and activities in those westbound lanes by blocking them off to traffic and open them to pedestrians or any events that the downtown central business district could benefit from. So that means that part of the detour, you're going to head down 7th to Penn back to Stanwix. And again, because it's a 5-month closure, it's going to take drivers a little bit longer to get used to it. And then keep in mind that you'll see those additional delays pushed onto Penn Avenue during that time. Eastbound lanes should not be impacted. Tricia Pittman, Channel 11 News.
A new healthcare option for veterans will soon be going up near Monroeville's Mall. Construction on a $91 million VA outpatient clinic is set to start later this year. And Channel 11's Mike Holden found out there's a big need for something like this.
Medicine is the future right here in Monroeville. Officials are working to offer service to our most beloved and respected community members in the form of a new VA clinic. Accessibility and outreach. They're the two key components of a new Veteran Affairs clinic in the works here in Monroeville. The massive project would take shape near the Monroeville Mall and stretch across 6.5 acres of land, totaling at 64,000 square feet. Developers out of Milwaukee say the state-of-the-art outpatient clinic will service thousands of our most respected and beloved community members. The project is believed to cost upwards to $90 million. Folks we spoke with say the investment is well worth it and finally allows many who can't get access to health care an equal opportunity.
I'm for it. I'm for it. For the reason that I had to travel out of Pittsburgh to go get medical work done for the VA when we have all the facilities here. I think that should help everybody.
And that project is expected to be completed sometime by 2023 and then welcome patients by 2024. We'll track the progress of all of it. In the meantime, we're now working to get in touch with developers about why they chose this area for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting in Monroeville, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Mike, thank you. 20 to 1,000 cases of Lyme disease are reported to the CDC every year. But the number of people actually infected each year is likely far greater. Ticks are among the most common transmitter of the illness, as we know. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond found out it is shaping up to be a bad year for them.
A day without any rain in Pittsburgh means people get outside and take advantage of it. But before you head back inside, make sure you check yourself and your pets for ticks, especially if you've been in tall grass.
The National Pest Management Association expects even more ticks this year because of how warm and wet it's been. Ticks are most active between April and October. More ticks mean more tick-borne illnesses such as Lyme disease. Pennsylvania has led the United States in the number of Lyme disease cases for 7 straight years now. East Stroudsburg University on the eastern side of the state launched a tick research laboratory recently. It tested more than 10,000 ticks across the Commonwealth in all 67 counties. 42% of ticks tested in Allegheny County came back with a tick-borne disease, 48% in Westmoreland. As for the highest in the state, Venango and Greene counties with 67%.
My vet told me, he said, if you flew over Pennsylvania, it's just saw ticks. Stella, my little dog here, rolled over so I could scratch her belly, and I saw a tick on her, and I did pull it off. But my dogs have that protection, like they bite and they just can't do anything to them.
Ticks live in grassy, bushy, or wooded areas. And according to the Pennsylvania Department of Health, many people get ticks in their own yard or neighborhood. The CDC suggests checking your body from the back of your knees to in and around your hair and take a shower within 2 hours of being outdoors. Reporting in North Park, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Rain is on the way as we go into the upcoming days. I'm breaking down rain chances as we close out the rest of this week coming up.
I felt bad that I was sneezing. Again, it was my allergies.
Why that sneeze got a woman and her friends kicked off a flight from Florida to Pittsburgh.
A couple of big questions here. Is one COVID vaccine enough? And can the shot cause a false positive mammogram? We're separating fact from fiction next. Welcome back on this Thursday afternoon. A growing number of people are skipping their second dose of the COVID vaccines, thinking some protection is enough. And people who didn't get much of a reaction to the shot wonder, is it really working?
Channel 11's Angie Moreski gets to the bottom of these questions and whether the vaccine can cause a false positive on your mammogram.
A growing number of people getting their first dose of the COVID vaccine are skipping their second dose. Both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines offer about 80% protection after that first dose, and some think that's good enough, even though that protection jumps to 95% after the second shot. So we ask, is one dose enough to provide sufficient protection? Head of infection prevention at UPMC says no. The stronger protection you get from the second dose makes it very important.
Preventing you from getting sick, preventing you from having serious complications, and for preventing you from being contagious. I wouldn't risk having partial protection against all three of those with only one dose, even if one dose gets you a good part of the way to that.
There's also growing debate over folks who've already had COVID. Could one shot be enough for them since they already have some antibodies? Is it almost like having 3 doses? Is there any danger or problem with that?
No, it's kind of like being re-exposed to an infection like influenza. It just is a way to remind our immune system again that it should be prepared for this virus.
So Dr. Snyder says this is false. Stick to the plan. That second dose gives you longer lasting, more durable immunity. Now, another concern we're hearing is if you get the vaccine but don't have symptoms, does that mean it didn't work as well? When it comes to symptoms, some people get just a sore arm, while others experience much more severe symptoms like fever, aches, and fatigue. Is that a bad sign if you don't get any symptoms from the vaccine, that it's not working?
Not at all. That spectrum of response to the vaccine is normal. The vaccine is highly effective whether you have no symptoms after the vaccine or you have some of the symptoms that could occur.
So no worries. This is false. If you're healthy and you don't have symptoms when you get the vaccine, research shows it is still working. Okay, this is an important one for women. Can the vaccine cause a false positive on your mammogram? Some women are experiencing swollen lymph nodes in their underarm when they get the vaccine, which does go away, but because swollen lymph nodes can also be a sign of cancer, it can create some confusion on a mammogram.
When they do the mammogram or the chest CT, they could see those lymph nodes and not being able to tell the difference between vaccine or cancer. So the way to avoid that would be to wait a few weeks after your vaccine before you do the cancer screening.
So this is true, but it is still very important to get your mammogram. Experts say talk to your doctor, but you might want to wait 4 to 6 weeks after the vaccine to avoid any confusion. With your Fact Fiction Race to Vaccinate report, I'm Angie Moreski.
CVS has surpassed 17 million vaccinations at its locations throughout the country. The pharmacy is giving vaccines at more than 8,000 stores. More than 400 of those are in Pennsylvania. CVS is also accepting walk-ins.
Pittsburgh detectives are looking for 2 graffiti taggers they believe are working together. Take a look at these pictures. They tweeted these pictures of their work, including on a wall of the Andy Warhol Museum and along Dawson Street in central Oakland. One tagger uses the tag right there. You see it? Demo. The other one isn't legible. If caught, they face 90 days in jail and up to a $500 fine. The owners of a local bookstore say they're disappointed and upset that they lost out on the opportunity to expand. White Whale has 1 location in Bloomfield, and the owner said they planned a 2nd location in the produce terminal in the Strip District. They say they signed a letter of intent thinking they had that spot, but then the developer chose a bookstore based in New York instead. The mayor's office said they weren't aware that White Whale was interested, but fully supports expansion plans by them or any other small business in the city.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
If you're looking for a completely dry day before Mother's Day, today is your day. Now, we're looking a little less sunny than we did earlier this morning, adding a few more clouds in the sky. Still dry, and that's how it's going to be as we go throughout the rest of the day. On the cool side, when I say cool, I mean cooler than where we should be for this time of year. Right now, we're at 51 degrees with a southwesterly fluid coming in at 6 miles per hour. We'll get near 60 today around the peak of the daytime heating. Notice that we'll see more cloud cover, but the main thing is we're completely dry. So if you do need to maybe get a last-minute gift for mom and you want to dodge the raindrops, today is your day. Now here's a look at Storm Tracker. We do have 2 rounds of showers coming with 2 different systems as we close out the rest of this week. We're not going to see any rain today. We'll see that cloud cover though. And as we go into early tomorrow morning, if you have an early start, especially farther toward the west, your chances of seeing some rain are very likely first thing in the morning, shortly after sunrise, maybe an hour or so in Newcastle, Beaver, and even Franklin. Now this line will be coming with that first round, coming with that system, the first system, and it's going to be moving from the west toward the east. Notice how it moves all across the area. So tomorrow, especially tomorrow morning to midday tomorrow, that line will be passing through the entire area, and then we'll be farther east going to around 3 o'clock. Now as we go later into the evening hours, maybe if you want to take mom out tomorrow evening, looking nice, even clearing out some of that cloud cover. So around 8 p.m. shortly before sunset, really looks like a nice time to get out and about before we have even more rain to move in, with wave 2 coming in with another system, giving us some showers mainly early Saturday morning. So missing the bulk of the rain. It's not going to be a whole lot. It's not going to be like what we're going to see tomorrow morning. That rain will be pushing out. And for the most part, we'll be seeing just a few spotty showers, but drier conditions for your Saturday afternoon. We are looking quite soggy on Mother's Day, also cool. For this time of year, we should be somewhere near 70 degrees for the high. We'll be a little over 10 degrees cooler than that, 59 degrees, with showers in the forecast. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to break down the rain chances for Sunday specifically and talk more about temperatures. But I want to show you temperatures right now in the 5-day forecast and show you that we're going to continue to be below average. As a matter of fact, the overnight lows will be in the 30s going into Friday night and Saturday night. Pretty cool this weekend, and we'll see a few remaining showers Monday morning with a high of 56 degrees.
Thanks, Jessica. COVID-19 vaccines are free, but hundreds of Excella Health customers got billed. We're finding out why.
And a woman is suing the maker of Bagel Bites. Why she claims the packaging is very deceptive. Stay with us.
Take a look at this new video out of Texas. A tractor trailer gets stuck on the railroad tracks when a train comes through, cuts it right in half. Let's take a look at that full screen so you get a better look. A police officer recorded this video and pulled up just as the train was approaching, and debris, as you can imagine, went everywhere, including water bottles that the truck was hauling. Kraft Heinz is facing a lawsuit over its Bagel Bites pizza snacks. The suit claims the packaging is deceptive and misleading. The rapper describes the product as mini bagels with mozzarella cheese and tomato sauce, but the lawsuit claims there's no real cheese or real tomato sauce on the nutrition label. The suit says the cheese is actually a blend containing modified food starch, and the sauce contains non-tomato thickeners. Kraft Heinz officials say the lawsuit lacks merit and they stand by their product.
All right, we'll see what happens. The Allegheny County Health Department shutting down the new Prantle's Bakery in Squirrel Hill. It says the bakery didn't get a permit or an inspection before opening. Health Department also cited the bakery for holding food at unsafe temperatures, a lack of hand washing sinks in the food handling areas, and failure to sanitize food contact surfaces. The new location on Forbes Avenue opened in April. We reached out to Prantle's and are still waiting to hear back.
We're dry today, but showers are in the forecast. I'm breaking down rain chances after we return.
A group of women removed from their flight from Florida to Pittsburgh, and at first they said they thought it was a joke.
I keep making the joke that at any moment I thought Ashton Kutcher was going to come around the corner and say we were being punked because it was that ridiculous.
The sneeze, they say, that started it all, that's still to come at noon.
I think Pittsburgh's an excellent place to live.
But thousands of African Americans have left the city. The debate over how to fix the exodus.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we've been following breaking news at noon. The Pennsylvania Health Department and the contact tracing company it hired are both facing a federal lawsuit.
It comes exactly 1 week after a Target 11 investigation exposed a data breach affecting the personal information of 72,000 Pennsylvanians. The information was easily accessible by clicking a link with no login or password needed. The state health department acknowledged the compromised data and immediately shut down the links after we contacted the agency. The state has said it plans to terminate the contract with Insight Global when it ends in July. Live look at the Pittsburgh skyline now, and the sun is shining on this Thursday afternoon. After a few soggy days, we should stay dry.
Should we?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Pittsburgh. But Jessica, our next rainmaker is not too far away.
Is not too far away. We'll actually see some rain as early as tomorrow morning. So enjoy the rest of today. We will see more cloud cover this afternoon, and we'll also see cooler temperatures than where we should be for the beginning of May. But overall, this is a really nice day for you to get outside, get some outdoor chores done, maybe grab some last-minute gifts for mom before we'll see more wet weather, especially on Mother's Day, where it's shaping up to be kind of soggy. I'm timing out the rain chances for Mother's Day and also talking about when we'll see overnight lows back in the 30s.
We're digging into a problem for the city of Pittsburgh. African Americans leaving the city. Census data shows 7,000 African Americans left Pittsburgh between 2014 and 2018. That's half the population of Wilkinsburg, or a third of the population of Peters Township. So the big question is, why is this happening? And what could be done about it? Channel 11's Michelle Newell is looking at the debate over those questions.
This picture was taken just a couple of days before Anitra Bolton left Pittsburgh for good.
I left Pittsburgh in 2014, and I live in Columbia, South Carolina now.
The city of Pittsburgh lost 7,000 black and brown residents between 2014 and 2018. Bolton is a part of that group.
They're pushing all the African Americans out of neighborhoods that we created, that, we've built up.
Bolton says she has better career opportunities in South Carolina and housing is more affordable.
As a black woman, there was not enough, activities and programs geared towards black women. Just like everything else, we were at the bottom of the totem pole.
A number of black men we spoke to feel differently.
I've lived in Pittsburgh 25 years.
So you've never thought about leaving?
No. Economically, though, I think there's been a lot of opportunities here. There's a lot of, particularly for young professionals.
I love Pittsburgh. Definitely, as far as job opportunity, I've been able to get that. As far as I work for Port Authority here, and that is one place, definitely. As far as equal opportunity, I see a lot of black people in prominent positions of management.
Concerns about mass displacement of black and brown people in Pittsburgh were loud and clear during City Council's public hearing on Wednesday. It was held because of the Penn Plaza Support and Action Coalition with other organizations.
Pittsburgh fails black women and their families terribly on employment and housing.
We lost half of our black population across Lawrenceville in just 5 years.
Bill Peduto, I believe that, yes, he was part of this housing issue. But, a lot of these issues come from a lot of our black leaders.
Community members want council members to begin fixing the problem by identifying former residents and determine why they left, implementing new policies that address mass displacement, and using COVID relief dollars to stop continued displacement. Council members admit there is more work to be done.
We can do more, and we should do more. Certainly, it is just not our mission to drive residents out of our city.
That was Michelle Newell reporting there. After yesterday's hearing, the Black Political Empowerment Project sent demands to City Council. They include in-depth research on why black and brown people are leaving Pittsburgh. The group also wants the city to use the millions of dollars in COVID relief money to build low-income housing.
A federal judge has struck down the national moratorium on evictions. He says the CDC exceeded its authority when it imposed the ban last year. Pittsburgh put in its own freeze in place in March. That will expire once the city lifts its COVID-19 emergency declaration. While it's not clear what the immediate impact of the ruling will be, we spoke with local tenants who say they could soon be out on the street.
No one should be evicted during a pandemic. I mean, it's hard out there. It's going to be hard for a long time.
Local landlords we spoke with welcomed the ruling, saying the ban is not as necessary now that more COVID restrictions are being lifted. The Department of Justice immediately filed an appeal, but if the judge's ruling is upheld, the federal eviction moratorium could end June 30th. Housing is one of the issues we'll be addressing in our Pittsburgh mayoral debate. That airs at 8 a.m. this Sunday on Channel 11 and on our WPXI Now streaming apps.
The number of mothers, particularly black mothers, dying during or after childbirth is a growing problem in the U.S., and Congress is trying to tackle it. Channel 11's Jacqueline Fell explains how serious this issue is.
The U.S. has the highest maternal death rate of any developed nation. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, black women are 3 to 4 times more likely than other women to die from pregnancy-related complications. Congress is hearing from medical experts, lawmakers, and the husband of a woman who died during what should have been a routine C-section. Advocates and lawmakers are pushing 12 bills to curb maternal deaths. The whole package is dubbed the Momnibus. It would address black mothers' access to care before, during, and up to a year after giving birth. It would also improve data collection and provide funding to community organizations focused on maternal health and promoting equity. This is a bipartisan issue, as Democrats and Republicans have introduced bills aimed at curbing deaths. Momnibus sponsors think they have a leg up because the previous Senate leader on this package, Kamala Harris, is now the vice president. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
The resisting Peloton has agreed to recall all of its treadmills following multiple injuries and a child's death. The company announced voluntary recalls of its Tread and Tread Plus machines. Customers who have the treadmills should contact Peloton for a full refund. The CPSC warned about dangers posed by Tread Plus last month.
A local healthcare system is issuing an apology after hundreds of people were billed for their free COVID-19 vaccines. Excella Health calls it a software glitch. In the rush to set up vaccination clinics, Excella says the software had to do things it wasn't designed to do, and that's what led to this error. Several hundred patients were accidentally sent a bill. Excella is reaching out to those people to tell them to ignore it.
You could give the award to all the officers that showed up that day.
But only these 2 police officers received a prestigious award for bravery. The split-second decisions they made that may have saved lives.
And developers presented plans for a potential Amazon facility in Churchill. What needs to happen before the tech giant can move in? Up next at noon.
Developers have presented their plans for a potential Amazon distribution center in Churchill. It would be at the former George Westinghouse Technology and Research Park along Beulah Road. It could create more than 1,000 new jobs, but some neighbors are worried about things like noise and air pollution. So before Amazon can move in, the developer needs to perform several studies, including traffic, lighting, sound, and stormwater management.
Things like traffic, for instance, requires significant amount of studies, submissions to PennDOT, submissions to the county to the extent county roads.
Planning Commission will either approve or reject the plan once the studies are finished, but the final decision will be made by Borough Council.
New at noon, Meghan Markle won her last copyright claim against the publisher of a British tabloid. Markle sued the publisher of the Mail on Sunday. Comes after the tabloid ran portions of a letter she sent to her estranged father after her wedding to Prince Harry. The couple said the relentless scrutiny from the British media was one of the reasons they decided to move to California. Listen to this. A woman from Mali gave birth to 9 babies all on the same day. 2 of them were a surprise. The 5 girls and 4 boys were born on Tuesday, and she thought she was pregnant with 7, but 2 of them were hiding. All are doing well. The previous world record for most births at one time is 8, and they are now verifying these births to see if they have a new record holder. I'm in pain just thinking about that.
Wow, what a super mama. And you may want to celebrate your mom this weekend. Well, we do have rain chances in the forecast. I'm going to have another look at Sunday, and I'm timing out with the best time for you to head out and about on Sunday.
One pandemic change could be sticking around, the push to make to-go cocktails permanent in Pennsylvania. Welcome back. You're looking at live pictures of breaking news right now. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is speaking in Pittsburgh. You can see him up there in Mount Washington. He's been traveling across the country to sell President Joe Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan. The White House says it would create millions of much-needed jobs, but Republicans argue it would be a job killer because it would raise corporate taxes. You see the events happening there live. We're going to have much more coming up tonight on Channel 11 News starting at 5.
And a live look at Pittsburgh International Airport this afternoon. A group of women say that they were thrown off their flight from Florida to Pittsburgh after one woman lowered her mask to use a tissue. They told Channel 11's Ryan Houston they think the airline went too far, while the airline is telling a different story.
This group of ladies tell Channel 11 their girls' trip ended with embarrassment when they were thrown off their return flight to Pittsburgh.
And I did mention to the flight attendant, we were in the very back row of the plane, and I felt bad that I was sneezing. Again, it was my allergies. And so I said to her, I'm fully vaccinated, just so everybody knows. I didn't want people to feel uncomfortable.
Kelly Smith says she was on a Southwest flight in West Palm Beach with her sister Kim Dan Duran and her mom. Smith says after boarding, she sneezed. The flight attendant brought over tissue for her to blow her nose. She lowered her mask to use the tissue, and a few minutes later, she was being escorted off the plane.
It was humiliating, and we were in the back row. It was a disturbance to not only the people on the flight. I think the flight attendant was having a bad day, but it was a disruption to my friends, my family.
I keep making the joke that at any moment I thought Ashton Kutcher was going to come around the corner and say we were being punked because it was that ridiculous.
The sisters tell Channel 11 they ended up having to pay for their own hotel rooms after Southwest rebooked them on a flight more than an hour away. We contacted Southwest, and they sent over a statement. It reads in part, "Our reports indicate this customer was not wearing a mask properly on multiple occasions while on board the aircraft and in the presence of other customers and crew." What's your response?
Disbelief.
Yeah. It is just, it's just not true. And it breaks my heart to say that because it's just like I joked earlier, I didn't even get my card pulled in elementary school. I never went to yellow or red. This is just not something that happens to us.
Southwest goes on to say, quote, "We regret any inconvenience this customer experienced. But federal law requires each person 2 years of age and older to wear a mask over their mouth and nose at all times to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Ryan Houston, Channel 11 News.
New at noon, two of the country's most popular theme parks are ending temperature checks for guests. Universal Orlando is getting rid of them starting today. Social distancing is also going from 6 feet to 3 feet. And then Walt Disney World will stop doing temperature checks later this month. Face masks are still required at both parks.
At least one pandemic-era rule could become permanent: takeout cocktails. The policy became popular when bars and restaurants were forced to close their doors to in-person customers. But this week, a State House committee unanimously voted to keep the program going. It would allow bars and restaurants to sell as much as 64 ounces of cocktails to go. One industry group says it will take years for hospitality businesses to fully recover, and this change could help give them stability.
Your severe winter Teen 11 forecast.
We're dry today. Enjoy it even with the extra clouds and the cool temperatures, cooler than average. For this time of year, we should be somewhere near 70 degrees. Today's high 60. Overall, not a bad day to head out and about. You are good to go if you want to get outside today. Now, tomorrow and Saturday, we do have showers coming back into the forecast, with round one being tomorrow morning, mainly first half of the day. As we go into the afternoon, actually could be a pretty good time for you to head outside with mom. So that's why I say caution. Just pay attention to the forecast. Maybe download our WPXI weather app. It has a really nice radar on it for you to track when the showers are moving out and when they could move back in, with round two of showers late Friday night into early Saturday morning, with maybe just a few spotty showers in the early afternoon. But almost a similar story second half of the day on Saturday, looking much better, much calmer. Sunday, we bring back the rain chances in a pretty big way, and here's timing that out for you as you maybe try to get some plans together right now. I want to look ahead to Sunday and know when's the best time. Your brunch plans may be kind of wet there. If you want to maybe take mom to breakfast, your plans are looking better, but know that rain will be moving in. So really, the earlier the better. Later into the afternoon and evening, pretty big rain chance. We're talking about widespread showers across the area. We could see around 1 to 2 inches. This goes through tomorrow, even into Monday. Monday, we're looking at also some leftover showers from Sunday, late Sunday, that could spill over into early Monday. For today, again, 60 degrees, increasing clouds with mainly a light one from the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, overnight lows will be dropping near 43, and we could see overnight lows in the 30s Friday and Saturday night before rising again going into Sunday night. Here's your 5-day forecast. You will see that most of our 5-day forecast includes some type of rain chance, with the biggest one being on Mother's Day on Sunday, with a few leftover showers again on Monday with a high of 56 degrees.
Jessica, thank you. And now here is local steals and deals.
Have you ever noticed that you never have enough hands, right? You're leaving the house and you never have enough hands. I need an umbrella in case it rains. I need a flashlight because it's kind of dark, but I need to have an extra hand. What am I going to do? Well, you get an umbrella that is also a flashlight, and it's a better mousetrap because it does it all exactly as you want it to be done. This is called the rain torch, and it's such a good idea because, number one, this is a great umbrella, right? You just simply open it. It's automatic open and close. Really nice construction, great quality frame, 38 inches, lots of coverage from the rain. Everything is good. But now you're also going to have a flashlight at the bottom. And it's not just a flashlight at the bottom, it's a flashlight that actually turns. So now you're going, wait, I'm going to walk the dog. It's raining. It's dark. If I have an umbrella in one hand and a flashlight in the other hand, what do I hold the dog leash with? Well, now they're both in one. You're going to hold the dog leash with your other hand. Maybe you need to read directions on your phone while you're walking and it's dark and it's raining. Now you have the umbrella and you have the light and you have a hand for your phone. If you ever think about how easy it is to hurt yourself if you can't see where you're going, you know how important it is. I think about my dad. He's getting up there. He's still doing great. I don't want him to trip if he can't see where he's going. This is one of the best gift ideas. And I'd get it for my niece because, by the way, she's in college. She's going back and forth to classes. This is one of the best ideas I've seen, and it's something that everyone in the family can use. And it is something that is always going to be with you. It's just a safety issue. Keep one in the car, always have one with you when you go out. You know what? I'm going to go take a walk. I need some exercise. I'm going to make sure I'm protected from the rain. I'm going to make sure I don't get caught in the dark. Maybe, again, your husband's going out. Your kids are going out. Make sure they don't get caught in the rain. Make sure they don't get caught in the dark. Right now on localsteals.com, these are 29% off. And I know you're going to want a bunch of them because they're going to be the best gift and peace of mind for everyone in your family.
Welcome back. 2 local police officers are receiving national recognition this week for putting their lives on the line when they confronted a gunman. Masontown Police Chief Ronald Miller and German Township Corporal John Lingo were awarded the Congressional Badge of Bravery yesterday. In 2018, you may remember, a gunman opened fire in the magistrate's office in Masontown, Fayette County. 3 people were hurt, and Chief Miller pointed his gun at the shooter, but he was shot in the hand. Corporal Lingo shot and killed the suspect, potentially saving dozens of lives.
You could give the award to all the officers that showed up that day. Exactly. You know, I mean, there's just so many people.
We just were the first 2 to reach the person, but there was many other people who did the same thing that we did without hesitation.
So humble, but 2 heroes right there. The officers are just 2 of 18 in the country who received the Badge of Bravery for their actions that year.
But what makes Pittsburgh so special are the attractions and activities you can find only in Pittsburgh.
Visit Pittsburgh has launched the city's newest marketing campaign to get people to visit the Steel City. It's called Only in Pittsburgh, and the campaign highlights the city's unique attractions like the Andy Warhol Museum, the Inclines, and the Great Allegheny Passage. Here's another Pittsburgh tradition making a comeback. The pierogies will once again be back inside PNC Park. The Great Pittsburgh Pierogi Race had been moved to the Clemente Bridge due to COVID restrictions. The Pirates decided to move them back into the ballpark when the governor announced many of those restrictions would be lifted. The pierogies will be back for Monday night's game against Cincinnati. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon.
Our next newscast is tonight at 5. We'll see you then, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 4:30. Have a great day.